Today's horoscope, Gemini October 10th, 2024. Discover your future with my daily horoscope for you about love, work, health, money and compatibility with other signs. Jupiter begins its retrograde cycle today. While Jupiter will continue to transit your sign and stir enthusiasm and optimism until June, some of this is now turning inward during this 4-month retrograde cycle until February 4th. It's a good time to tame excess and overreaching to Euro. Essentially, it's a great time to pace yourself. If you've overdone seeking growth or freedom, this is the time to make adjustments that bring you closer to Earth. Returning to or relaunching past endeavors can be particularly beneficial now, and cutting back on taking on new extracurricular projects is a good idea. Jupiter brings many gifts, but going too far with its energies can, in fact, keep you from growing. Because Jupiter rules your partnership sector, whenever it is retrograde it's better to develop your relationships than focus on new partnering endeavors. You'll benefit from some moderation now. Today, romantic expression might reach new heights. How you carry yourself stands out now, and it's a fine time to pick up or recharge a satisfying hobby. Watch for important news over the next few days. This is because the mighty Jupiter, the planet of miracles and expansion, is freezing like a lantern in the sky. Whenever a major outer planet stations retrograde and remains frozen in the night, we notice a very pronounced energetic shift. This is taking place in your solar house of identity. Pay attention to anything that stalls now in your personal or romantic life. However, it may, in fact, be you that is the one that is starting to consider changing your mind about a personal situation. How can you inspire yourself to do better and become something more? As of the end of May 2024, Jupiter in your sign has encouraged you to grow as a professional. Now it is time to reflect on these past few months and what you can take away from your recent opportunities when Jupiter stations retrograde in your sign. From now until February 4th, 2025, Jupiter retrograde will encourage you to see yourself in a new light as you take away lessons in self-improvement and growth. Believe in your professional potential. Give yourself an inch and you might take a mile. I recommend you bring that tendency poolside. Swimming is an exercise that benefits the body and mind, and it is not an expensive sport. Whether you are a beginner or a high school champ, try to integrate this lovely, low-impact sport into your life. It strengthens your lung capacity while toning your whole body, and once you get on a roll it can be like meditation. Weather permitting, it's a wonderful bonus to be outside. Here is a day that will be particularly open and favor activities touching on communication and creativity. The way you express yourself will be of utmost importance. Don't forget that words always have a fundamental impact. Make projects for the future because this would be a particularly good period for it. Outside of having some words with those close to you, things should be constructive in your sentimental life. You are coming into a phase of peace and optimism. Take advantage of this and stop torturing yourself with trivialities and making comments that are out of place. While Jupiter will not depart from Gemini until June 2025, the ongoing pursuit of growth and expansion continues. The focus remains on planting seeds for the future and establishing the foundations for this new 12-year cycle of growth. With Jupiter's retrograde beginning today, there is an opportunity to pause and reflect. This retrograde motion, lasting until February, allows us to revisit past experiences, ensure thoroughness in our endeavors, and fully embrace opportunities connected to past events. It also presents a chance for a fresh start or second chances, reminding us that it is never too late to try again. Knowing that Venus, planet of love, will return next week to begin the first planetary activity on the relationship front since the early weeks of the year, makes it important to pay attention to all your emotional responses before the moon leaves today. Meanwhile, Mercury has the support to get the most out of his final days in your romantic sector and of his mission to give your heart a voice and to put heart and mind on the same page. Daily Planetary Overview. Have you ever had one of those days where, despite your best efforts, things just don't seem to go your way? It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming yourself when things don't pan out as expected. But remember, not everything is within our control. Sometimes, it's simply the circumstances around us that conspire to make things more challenging. Today, the energy is calling for you to take a step back, relax, and let things unfold as they will. If something doesn't work out the way you hoped, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, take a moment to pamper yourself and acknowledge that you're doing the best you can. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when we let go, new opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere? That's the kind of vibe today is offering. By giving yourself permission to pause, you might just find that what you thought was a setback opens the door to something entirely new and unexpected. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let things run their course and allow the universe to do its work. During this time, it's important not to be too competitive. There's no need to interpret everything others say or do as a challenge. In fact, that kind of thinking can lead to unnecessary tension in your relationships. Whether it's with a potential partner, a friend, or even a coworker, be mindful of how you're communicating. You might feel a bit forceful today without even realizing it, which can create misunderstandings or disagreements. Have you ever found yourself in a conflict that, in hindsight, could have been easily avoided? Today, try to keep things light and avoid getting caught up in power struggles. If you're feeling exhausted by all the emotional push and pull, don't hesitate to spend some time alone. Sometimes, solitude is the best way to clear your mind and regain clarity. Speaking of clarity, the doubts you're feeling right now are temporary. If you're struggling to make a decision or come to a conclusion, give yourself some grace. Eventually, things will become clearer, and you'll feel more confident in moving forward. Have you ever had that moment of realization after a period of confusion, where everything suddenly made sense? That's what's on the horizon for you. Trust that when the time is right, you'll know what to do and the outcome will be something positive. But it's not just romantic relationships that benefit from today's energy. Friendships, family bonds, and even your relationship with yourself can all be nurtured and uplifted under these cosmic influences. Maybe today is a great time to reach out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while or to spend some quality time with the people who matter most to you. Relationships of all kinds thrive when we show up with an open heart and a willingness to connect on a deeper level. What's one relationship in your life that could use a little extra love and attention today? Take a moment to reflect on that and consider how you might nurture it. Whether it's a quick text to check in or a longer heart-to-heart, the effort you put into your connections today will go a long way. As the day progresses, you'll likely feel a beautiful shift in energy. The moon aligns with expansive Jupiter, bringing a wave of optimism, lightness, and possibility. It's as if the heavy, reflective energy of the morning lifts, and in its place, there's a sense of joy and hopefulness that sweeps over you. Have you ever noticed how, when you're in a good mood, it seems to ripple out to those around you, spreading positivity like wildfire? Today, that's the kind of energy you're exuding. Your laid-back, relaxed vibe will be magnetic, drawing people toward you and uplifting the atmosphere wherever you go. This shift also brings clarity, allowing you to see problems from different perspectives. Suddenly, compromises that once felt impossible start to look more achievable. You're able to find solutions that work for everyone involved, and that's a powerful skill. Today, luck is on your side, especially when it comes to financial matters. If you've been considering an investment or a new venture, now might be the time to go for it. Trust your instincts, but also remember to be cautious. Don't push your luck too far. Have you ever felt like everything was aligning perfectly, and you knew exactly when to make your move? That's the kind of energy you'll be working with today. Be patient, stay open, and the right opportunity will present itself.